let's get to the conversation. And we're picking back on the conversation that the president had yesterday in his maiden media chat with journalists right here in Lagos. We're being joined in the program by a PDP board member, a member of the BOT of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George. He joins us via Zoom from the UK. Chief, it's good to see you again, and Merry Christmas in advance.
I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very, very pleasant and bountiful 2025.
Thank you so much.
And to all our listeners, all Nigerians too. You know, we need to give ourselves a little bit of a boost that God is still on his throne and we will survive. No problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Chief, let's get straight to that conversation. I'm sure you have you watch or you rewatch that conversation with journalists. So, I think the good place to start, because the president said a lot of things. I'm going to touch on a few within the time we have. But broadly, what was your impression of that media chat with the president?
You know, because of the Yuletide period, is the time to look around, give ourselves a little bit of godly messages, and to encourage ourselves. You know, if anybody believes in him that he was elected, he was supported by the electorate, it shows that can you give something bad to somebody who has done you good? We are talking about there is an abject poverty in the land. There is hunger in the land. There is anger in the land. Look at this campaign. You think if those guys were okay, they would have gone there to be looking for pittance to eat, and in the course of it died? I'm surprised that there is no iota of calmness, of soberness, of in-depth humanity, the milk of humanity in the discussion. He was saying, yes, there's no need to revisit. You know, why did you have an interactive session? I expect that those journalists who went there were giving him the situation as they experienced this outside. And you are saying nothing. We should just hold on. We should just bear it. And you said we should bear it. Everybody surrounding you, none of them is bearing it. So why should we bear it? It is completely outrageous. It's not a good way to start a new year. I want to advise Bola Tinubu, the president, Kadan Kadal, as they say in the north, Surulere, Musuru. Leadership is not by pumping and bashing people. No, it's not a military administration. You said you and Oga Babanga, Buhari said you won. The people supported you. Did you pay them back with this? You said yes, you won't go back. Yes, you won't do this. Which kind of political administration would do that? Listen to the people. The essence of democracy is convince the people to vote for you, asking you, go back, sir, to that parliament or to the government house. Go and ensure that you manage the resources of the land for the benefit of the people. It's not the reverse. They are saying they are not okay and nothing. Look at banks. I have friends, very wealthy friends. A bank called Heritage Bank collapsed. This, my friend, is so wealthy, had been working hard all his life, had so much money. And suddenly, the money was put in the bank. The bank collapsed. Now he had a stroke. He had no penny to even feed himself. So he should just listen to the people. You know what? What I said as a palliative, I said before I left home that there are two critical months in the year. The month of December and the month of January. No matter whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are an atheist, or you are a traditionalist. All right. At the end of the year, you say, thank God Almighty that he has allowed you to see the end of the year. And in January, you say, Baba, here I go again. So I said to him, all this nonsense, they're talking about this theory and all that, reduce the petrol price. Aliko has tried, but because it's private, I'm sure Mr. President, with all those bankers that he took with him to Paris, they can absorb the cost of all those prices of oil. If they say, let us reduce the cost per head, that would be the best gift.
All right, Chief. If I may comment, we're going to touch on what you just raised. Maybe we'll start from there, yes. Because he's mentioned the fact that he's not oblivious of the fact that the decisions he's made, economic decision, will cause what we're dealing with. And he's seeking understanding every time he comes on air to say, look, I know this is going to be difficult, but I can tell you, I can see the future, it's going to get better. Now, but there's one thing he has consistently done, and he's been consistent on that. He's not going back on this fuel subsidy. He wants the market to decide the price of PMS. Nigerians are saying, this is hurting, but the president is saying, I know, but this is necessary for the future. Now that our president has insisted that this is final, what do we do?
Very simple. It will be a major campaign issue. In another few months, it will be 2 years in office. The third year in office, politics will start. We make it a campaign issue. Are you Nigerians better off now? Or do you believe that with what we will tell you, you will be better off? You know, it's not a military government that has no relationship with the public. This is a democratic dispensation that supposedly got all the support. And they claim, Professor Nainek claimed that he won the election. Do you give a stab to somebody who has done so well to support you? And the definition is simple. Go and manage the resources of the land for our benefit. If that benefit is not coming through, well, we are getting more pain by the hour. What you should do, sit back, listen to them, reassess it, give them a little bit of palliative. Look at what happened. The day I mentioned that they should reduce the price of fuel to 300 naira per liter just between the middle of December and the end of January, because people will go home. Children are coming home. You see what happened with all this campaign? They want a smile on their face. Then you can go back again and see how best you can use all your friends who are these managing directors or damaging directors to make sure they take over all these the losses that you would have incurred. They can do it. Those of them, is it the best profession? Managing directors of banks, chairmen of these banks? What are they doing in the banks? What are they producing in the banks? What is it? If Cardoso doesn't give them the hard dollars, how would they be making money? Listen to the kind of money they tell people that their returns every year. What are they doing? Are they the first bankers in the world? Can you imagine the managing director of Barclays Bank in London here saying he has a private aircraft? At the end of the year, he's making this, he's making it. Is nonsensical. It is so heart-wrenching. What are we doing, for God's sake? What is it? I feel really, really very angry, because this is a country that trained me. This is a country I grew up with. This is a country we left here voluntarily to go back home to serve our people. Now you cannot guarantee anything, and you are saying you will not look at it, you will not revisit it. Why are you saying you are now the leader of our nation? No, sir, that's not the way to be a leader.
All right, Chief.
Look at what happened in Ghana. Look at what happened in Ghana.
All right.
The elections were held. Before the final results were the government said they accepted that they were defeated. Can you see that in Nigeria? What the goddamn hell is happening to us?
All right, Chief.
He's not saying he wants to revisit it. He doesn't feel. No, he has only 4 more years. I mean, 3.5, 2.5 years. So you think in 2.5 years all this madness will be resolved? Impossible.
All right, Brent, well, you've given a closure on this one, but he has mentioned the fact that part of the measure he's taking to manage our resources better, given the encumbrances he met on when he came into office. Right now, FX, I'm saying the things the government touts, FX reserve, almost $42 billion. Our debt to revenue ratio used to be about 90%. That means literally gulping all our revenue. Now it's brought it down to 68%, so we free up funds for a few things. The FAC allocation has been increased 1.7 record high in the last month. NEL Fund is also one of the poster child of the administration, giving students loan. They've also talked about improved security and all of that. So these are some of the things they are saying that if you look on the other side of the mirror, or the other half of the bottle, is again that this other one that we're complaining about is just temporary. But I know you've spoken extensively about that, but there's other issue I want you to speak to, given your military background. When it was asked about whether or not he will probe military spendings under former chiefs, he said he's not going to do that. He's not going to disrespect the institutions. Why do you think presidents are evasive to probing how we spend our military money, our defense budget? From your background as a military man.
From my background, yes, you must respect the military. You must respect not only the military, you must respect all the other sectors of the land. We are not in war for now. I am not against giving the military whatever they require. Take, for example, I retired as a general, all right? As a brigadier general, Commodore. You know what my retirement pay is 225,000 naira a month. That's all I have. If I go to Abuja, if I can go to Abuja with any flight, I can fly back home. What is encouraging? Let these boys not be taken away with that and think, oh, they give all this money. It's not money. It is character development, commitment, loyalty to the system, irrespective of who is the president. You must be, that's the training, that's the ethics, that's how we were brought up. Love your neighbor as yourself. You don't go there and start thinking, I'm a Yoruba man, this is an Hausa man, this is an Igbo man. No. I met a gentleman in the Navy. He remains my best friend today. He's a Hausa Fulani, deep-rooted. And I love him with everything in my mind. We met in the Navy. That is the character molding we are talking about. Not financial, it's not money. Okay, I saw something. I don't know whether it's true or not. I suddenly saw Bola Tinubu's son taking a salute at a quarter guard. As what? Is that the way we have turned our military to have the child? Even when we had military heads of state, not one of their children ever dared to be taking a quarter guard salute. It is absolutely irresponsible. And I want to advise that young man, please steer clear of this kind of people trying to push you into doing things that you will never be able to defend. It's unthinkable. Right. Baba Obasanjo has a son who is a brigadier now. Did he ever go to represent his father taking a salute at a quarter guard? No, sir. No. Whatever he wants to do with the military, he can do. But what about those who have left? I told you now what I take home. If I'm not a professional engineer, that I have my business that I'm doing, how would I survive? How my colleagues that we met, how would they have survived? Just giving them this, giving them money. It's not money. Morality had gone to the dogs. We've lost our direction. This ship of state is sinking. Mr. President, please, calm down. Go back to your drawing table. All this data you are giving us, the data has no effect, no positive impact on the people. For God, for Christ's sake, it has no impact on the people. All we want is to be able to have some meals, even if it's 2 a day. Let the children go to school, be happy. Let the workers go to school, be happy. There are millions of children now who are roaming about, who have graduated from school, go to the north, go to the south, go everywhere. There is no hope for them. That's all we are saying. Please get back to your table. It's the beginning of another year. I have advised, reduce this thing for just a month, and you will see how many of them will be praying for your survival. How many of them will remember you for this Yuletide period, December, January, the two most important months in the year. Please, Mr. President, it is so vital.
Chief,
you are not there.
I remember. My apologies, Chief. Just to reiterate his position, when this issue was raised as to the pain people are feeling, why don't we face this? He said that is the fear we have as a people that has kept us where we are. And that in the long term, Nigerians will see that it was right after all. And so that is actually what I want you to respond to. Do you think that from where you sit, that there is some level of conviction in what he is doing, given his pedigree, that we should trust him?
My brother, this is a day before Christmas. There's no, hunger doesn't believe in your talk. Hunger doesn't believe in your talk. It's got to be real. You got to be convinced, and then by tomorrow, you are telling us, wait, hold on. In the meantime, you are the kind of money you are spending to support those who are the managers of the nation today, they don't add up. They don't add up. Where's the guarantee? I mean, I'm an engineer by profession. Yes, I did an MBA program. The most farmed up policy will be physical science, because you can monitor it, you can guarantee. Social science is not as farmed up as physical science. For every action, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. Dead on. That is a physical science. In social science, when you see an economist, he says, on one hand, you be this. On another hand, is that what you teach you tell your kids that are hungry? Is that what you tell your wife that is hungry? Is that what you tell your kids that, the grown-up, the graduates who are looking for jobs? We can't even feel it. We can't see it. We can't, all these data that they're saying. I don't believe in them. I don't.
Chief, what is it? Chief, what is the problem here? Is it that the president has not been told the truth in the real picture of things, or he understands it but believes in what he's doing? Those are two questions I've asked in one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Now, when you meet these social scientists, the governor of Central Bank, who is to advise on fiscal and monetary policy of the country, then you look at the man who is the Minister of Finance and Budget. All right? Now, their policies, their talk, we are not seeing the difference. Take any human being, ask those who are in the business world, who have factories, not working in the banks. Tell them how many, I just told you, there was a bank that failed, Heritage Bank. If it had been in China today, those managers of those banks would have been publicly executed. Now, my friend who had worked all his life is a multi-billionaire, suddenly woke up, his bank collapsed. He cannot even have 1 naira in his pocket. He was crying, he called me, but they look at what has happened to me. He then had a big stroke. So what policies are they doing? Those people, what are they doing against them so that it doesn't happen again? There are all kinds of banks, managing directors, damaging directors, all kinds of characters that are around. These are the ones that you can see that they have all this money in their pocket. All the ordinary men. Look, if you have any private business that you require to use energy in this country, you tell me how you can survive. Tell me how you can survive. The cost of energy, and all comes to the price of the pump fuel. It is too high. Take some out. You said you don't want to remove subsidy. Now, who creams the subsidy? There was a time, yeah, I tried. I mean, I've seen what Dangote did. Makes a little bit of sense that he will reduce his own to 900 and whatever it is. That is still too small. Give some succor. Support the people. These are your people. These are the same people who voted for you. You were not elected through the back door, according to Professor whatever in the INEC. If you believe that these people really voted for you, it is incumbent on you to make sure that you give them support. Now, I know he's not a Christian, but I want to ask you to go and read 1 John chapter 3, verses 17 to 18. If you are a rich man and you see the poor people around you and do nothing, the Almighty God will not help. It's not me talking. It is there. Let Mrs. Tinubu read that portion to her husband. People are dying, and there is so much anger and hunger in the land. Do something.
Okay, Chief.
Give us immediate palliative, something to give us succor. Yeah.
All right, Chief, I know that this is one of the biggest issues as far as the Nigerian polity and the economy is concerned. And that has to do with the removal of fuel subsidy and the floating of the naira. But I want to find out from you, I want you to speak to perhaps some of the rationale behind this decision and what you think could have been done differently before I go to other subject matter. The subsidy removal, one of the things they said was that there was too much corruption in that regime. Some people were not delivering the fuel, others were actually just benefiting a few people. That's one instance where they said that subsidy must go. The other instance, they talked about paucity of funds, that we don't have so much, we're spending 5 to 6 trillion naira every year to subsidize. That's on second hand. And then the third part is that this fuel or PMS is being smuggled across the border. It's more like we're subsidizing for Nigerians and subsidizing for neighboring country. This is the scenario I suppose was presented to him. What would he have done differently to keep it with this scenario?
Thank you very much. I'm not in their field. But we know there has been so much rottenness in the system. But what about now? Who is the Minister of Petroleum? He's the President. Now, we were told that, and who is the chairman of the NNPC? His good bosom friend, Akinyelure. Now, Oando collapsed. Now, all the petrol stations owned by Oando were bought by NNPC. Now, Oando has gotten all of them back. There was a rumor, let me call it a rumor, because, you read all kinds of things. I'm not in government, you don't know what the truth is, but it will come. Aliko Dangote stated that who gets the larger share of the crude oil now? His company, not Aliko. And that they now go to refine this in Malta. So who is the chief importer of all the finished products that we buy in Nigeria? Who? Look, when A is equal to B and B is equal to C, it means A must be equal to C. What is the truth about this? Don't give us a load of, BS like the Americans will call it. Let us know the truth. I am not in their field. I don't know who is buying what, but I want to advise. Because someday it will be over. You will leave, and everything that passed on behind us now, we will all see it on the television. Please, I am talking to you as a friend, and I'm talking to you because you are from my part of the world. Make sure that what you are telling the people, you can defend it. Because what it is now, the output, the outcome, we are not feeling it. We can't see it. It is getting worse by the hour. Then people come to you. And I want to also advise the governor of Central Bank. Remember, Yemi, where you came from. Your family, your father was an outstanding, unique accountant. and the family name itself. Someday you will live there. What do you want to be remembered for? Including Bola, what do you want to be remembered for? Please, I'm begging you guys, put a smile on the face of Nigeria. You alone, the development of a nation is not a 100-meter dash race. It is not. So please calm down. Go back to your drawing board. Go back to all these people telling you, hey, oh, yeah, ooh, yeah, yo, it's okay. It's not, there's nothing wrong. We will get it better. I said,
right,
how do we survive right now?
All right, Chief.
I can't see it.
All right, just in 30 seconds. This is just maybe a funny or trick. I don't know what to call the question. But you have been a military administrator. You've governed the state.
Yeah.
How do you detect when people are not telling you the truth? How do you sieve decisions? Because everybody wants to give you a great picture of your leadership. It could be a dilemma of leadership. In 30 seconds, so that we'll go on a break.
You know the way you do it, as we learned in the military. Information is power, information is knowledge. What you do as a leader, you have those officials, you have those who are unofficials, you have the academia, and then you meet them at different points. Any issue that that has a common denominator, you will know that there is some truth in that. But to face only one side and be listening to this and think that is the truth, my brother, you will soon find out that they have put you on the fire bed.
All right.
Please.
Okay.
Please. That's why I came out and I said, I just told you about my friend. He's still alive, but he's neither alive or dead. What have they done to that bank that collapsed?
All right, Chief, there's a lot.
Gone.
There's a lot to talk about, apparently, as far as the leadership is concerned and those remarks of the president is concerned. But we must thank you for making our time on Christmas Eve to speak to us. Chief Bode George is a live member of the live board member, actually, of the People's Democratic Party and an elder statesman. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Merry Christmas again, and I wish you a very bountiful, very pleasant, and a very healthy 2025. Thank you.